Hey guys, Mika here, and it's a time for another one of those sound samples. I get to talk about another Chuck Moore custom ukulele. For those of you who don't know, Chuck Moore was a luthier individual who lives here in Hawaii on the Big Island, and he makes it's just no room for debate. He makes some of the best ukuleles in the world. If you are a ukulele collector or you just are a musician who wants the best sounding ukulele out there, or one of the best sounding ukuleles, it's this instrument, or it's just any of Chuck Moore's instruments. Yeah, so right here we have a tenor size instrument from him. We have beautiful Sitka bear claw spruce here on the top, and then we have insane black and white ebony. I mean, look, where does he find this kind of wood? I mean, this is just like, this doesn't deserve to be on an ukulele, but Chuck only does the best things for his instruments, and it always, his creations just blow me away. I mean, so crazy. Um, Small little detail, but it's one of those things. Maybe it might not pick up on the camera, but for here you can see, or I can see that there is a black and white rope binding around the perimeter on the back, and then also here around the Sitka bear claw spruce here on the top, right here, and then we also have black ebony binding on the top and on the back, and then we have a nice side port right here so we can get an accurate representation of what the instrument sounds like when it's projecting forward. We can hear a small representation right here along my face. We got an ebony bridge right here, and then we also have a beautiful black and white ebony fretboard, and then the color of the fret markers also match that, kind of the whiter side of the black and white ebony. Then we also have your fret markers here on the side. Speaking of the black and white ebony, we can also find it here around the rosette. And a pretty cool concept about this rosette is that rather than this just being like black and white ebony that's kind of like, in a rosette, it's pretty much arranged in a way so that it's always kind of facing towards the sound hole like this. So there's little pieces where it's like that and like that, like that. So it always has an orientation facing on the inside of the sound hole like that. So really, really cool. And then we have more of that black and white ebony here on top of the headstock. And another kind of fun fact for those of you who don't know about Chuck Moore is that not only does he make some of the best instruments in the world, he's known for having some of the nicest artwork and progressive artwork on his instruments, whether it's on the headstock or it's on the fretboard. So here we have a hula lady or a hula girl dancing hula with the black palm trees. This is also again black and white ebony, black palm trees, and then we have that black and white ebony in the background. So it's not stained, it's not colored, nothing is done to the headstock. This is black and white ebony with just his artwork. Again, just a masterful inlay work that Chuck is known for. This is a perfect prime example of some of the beautiful work that he does on his headstock. And then going to the back, we have a Spanish cedar neck, gloss finish, and then we have planetary tuners here on the back of the instrument. Super easy to use, super smooth tuning. And now the star of the show, I mean, she's the star of the show, but now the also a big star of the show is the sound that you get from Chuck Moore's instrument. And it's no secret, Chuck Moore's instruments are in my top 5 favorite ukuleles, or just best sounding ukuleles of all the stuff that I played. Chuck's instruments are just, and again, sound is really subjective, so I don't mean to come off biased or anything. Like, well, if it's a top 5, then that means it's always going to sound good. Like, well, right, but it's just, again, you can talk to all the other, or if you've heard the other like top ukulele players give their opinions on Chuck Moore, it's pretty much all the same in the ukulele community. Chuck Moore's instruments is just one of the best you can get out there for sound, for just the aesthetics, the playability. It's literally some of the best stuff you can get in the ukulele community. It's just listen to this, so clean. And that's just doing real basic finger style. Over at a 2-1-0-0, and then move it up my ring finger on 4 and then 2, up and down, and then you can move it up 2 frets to fret 6 and fret 4. Get really nice open sound. And then you can go ahead and move it down, and then back to this A chord. And this is just these 3 chords. So much projection, so much warmth, so much clarity. this is one of those things where like you can spend an hour, you can spend 30 minutes just talking about every single little detail that you hear in this ukulele. But it's also one of those things too where you kind of just let the sound, like you can just trust your ears and let your ears speak for you. It's like how beautiful this ukulele sounds. Another awesome thing about Chuck's instruments is that it's set up very well. It's set up for musicians, so it has a really low action, but it's not low to where if you start digging into it and you start strumming really loud, or not really loud, really hard, where it starts buzzing. It's that right balance of where you can dig into it and it will respond really well. But it's just low enough to where your fingers won't hurt after playing it for a long time. And coming from me, where I always make the same joke time and time again about how I have girl hands, and I always try to get the lowest setup possible so that I can play for a long time and my fingers won't hurt. This ukulele feels so nice. The projection, just how much volume comes out of this instrument. I don't even have to play it hard. It's just a regular strum with my thumb, and every single note is so clean. My gosh. What a treat. I'm so extremely fortunate that I get to play these instruments, so it's my duty to go ahead and try my best to explain to you folks what I'm hearing, the quality, the sound quality, the playability of these instruments. Just second to none. Just the 15th fret. So nice. Anywhere you play on the fretboard, just clean, responds so. Absolutely beautiful. This is Chuck Moore's instruments, ladies and gentlemen. So let me go ahead and give you guys an uninterrupted sound sample. Here we go. This is what this instrument will sound like with a little bit of strumming. Here we go.